We all know that Ayrton Senna, the Brazilian three-time Formula One champion, lost control of his Williams after the steering column broke at the entrance to the Tamburello corner at the Enzo and Dino Ferrari circuit in Imola, Italy in 1994. Some information about the fatal accident of driver Ayrton Senna you may already know, but here we're going to reveal facts that, for sure, you've never seen on the internet, along with incredible 3D animations. So, stay with us until the end, leave a like, and share this video with your friends who are fans of Senna and Formula One. They'll love the content too. Have you already left your like? Then, let's go. The Tamburello corner, referred to by drivers as a crooked straight, was extremely dangerous. There was much criticism about the proximity of the wall to the track, which had very little runoff area, causing cars to collide violently with the wall when losing control. Ayrton Senna himself had already complained about these conditions, but behind the wall runs a river, making it impossible to increase the runoff area. However, after Senna's death, the racetrack modified the corner, transforming it into a low-speed chicane. This same corner had already caused accidents with Nelson Piquet in 1987, Gerhard Berger in 1989, and Michele Alboreto and Riccardo Patrese in 1992. Nelson Piquet suffered a cranial trauma, and Michele Alboreto was able to walk away from the car after the impact. Senna wasn't as lucky. At the time of Senna's accident, the cars were more dangerous, and his helmet did not yet feature the HANS device, a system that keeps the driver's head and neck stable, preventing severe jolts during impacts. Now that we understand the entire context of the corner and the safety limitations of Ayrton's helmet, let's analyze how the accident led to his death. For many years, we believed that the steering column of the car broke, pierced the visor, and killed Senna before the impact. This theory is so famous that there is even a photo with a supposed hole in the visor, which is believed to be where the steering column would have pierced Senna's head. But how can we prove that Senna was alive before the impact? We can see here in this photo the braking marks recorded in the runoff area, even before hitting the wall. The braking response time was so quick that it's certain Senna had not suffered any damage up until that moment. But what about the famous photo showing a supposed hole in the visor of the driver's helmet? Could it have been the steering column that pierced the helmet? When we analyze the image, we can see that the upper hole is actually from the air intake cover that detached at the moment of impact, and the supposed hole is in fact a reflection. There are no other real photos showing this hole. Additionally, Senna's helmet mysteriously disappeared from the spotlight after the accident. So, what really happened? Senna was driving at almost 300 kilometers per hour when the steering column broke, making it impossible for the driver to control the car's direction. Let's analyze everything from different angles with the 3D animations we've created for this video. Just before entering the Tamburello corner, the car's steering column broke, and unable to steer the wheels, he tried to brake, but the car was already in the runoff area. The vehicle collided violently with the wall. Upon impact, the front wheel was compressed against the wall, detaching and being thrown into the air. The rear wheel also came off, and half of the car was completely destroyed. Now we begin to analyze the collision and unravel the mystery of this accident by recreating the moments based on the real testimonies of those who were by Senna's side in his final minutes. The first impact Senna suffered was caused by one of the front wheel suspension arms, which struck the visor of his helmet. This impact was so violent that it tore the visor, penetrated the protective rubber, and caused damage to the driver's face. It likely fractured his skull and reached his brain tissue. We can see in this real photo of the helmet a large bloodstain and how the damage passed through the visor, hitting the driver. This injury alone could have been fatal. Next, Senna's head slammed into the Tamburello wall. What many thought would be unlikely and difficult to understand, how the driver's helmet could have hit the wall. However, the same thing happened to driver Roland Ratzenberger the day before Senna's accident. After crashing into the wall, the car was completely destroyed, and in the footage we can see blood coming from the visor of the helmet. The driver died in the hospital. This is a very rare photo that few people know of showing Senna's helmet. It was featured in the documentary The Last Day of Ayrton and was taken by journalist Matteo Marani. In it, we can see that the impact was so violent that part of the concrete got stuck in the helmet. We recreated the entire helmet in 3D and the details of the impact damage to better understand what really happened. But before we continue, have you already left your like? If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe and check out our other productions. You'll definitely enjoy them. Dr. Sid Watkins' account indicates that Senna suffered a deep injury at the base of his skull, extending from one ear to the other. This fracture was so severe that it caused the driver to lose a significant amount of fluid and brain matter. This is visible in photos from the track at the moment he was being assisted. During the helicopter ride to the hospital, Senna lost so much blood that it was necessary to administer 4 liters of blood replacement. Upon arrival at the hospital, the helicopter was splattered with blood, staining the people and cars around it. For a long time, it was believed that a hole in the visor of the helmet was the cause of the driver's death. But now you know the truth. No photos of Senna's face were released, and only Angelo Orsi from Autosprint managed to take a few photos of Senna's face, but he has always refused to publish them. Nobody knows if the photos still exist or if they were destroyed. Father Amadeo Zuffa, who administered the last rites to Ayrton Senna, said that his head was dark, deformed, and the size of a basketball. According to forensic doctor Maria Cristina Gervasi, she said that Senna's head looked like a pyramid, and that his skull had exploded at the back. These details come from the books Ayrton, the revealed hero, and the death of Ayrton Senna. But did Senna die on the track or not? The accident occurred at 1417, local time in Italy. Almost 2 hours later, at 1630, the head of the medical team, Dr. Maria Teresa Fiandri, issued the first medical report stating that Senna had suffered brain damage and was in a deep coma. At 1805, she announced the driver's brain death, and at 1840, she presented the final medical report stating that the driver's heart had stopped beating. However, the autopsy report stated that what happened to Senna was a process called dystonasia, which is when a person is kept alive artificially for a period, but with no chance of survival. In other words, it's very likely that Senna was already dead right after the accident, right there on the track. Detail. If it's confirmed that the driver died during the race is cancelled, causing millions in losses. But what do you think about all of this? The reasons for keeping Senna alive, and all the secrecy surrounding the helmet, and the real images of Senna right after the accident. Leave your comments below, as we really want to know your opinion. Well, my friends, once again, my heartfelt thanks. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and leave that awesome like for us. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next production. Until then.